What up? What's going on, guys? It's your boy GS. Welcome back for another Madden 25 online ranked match. It's today. Still doing our alphabetical quest from A to Z. We are on the Lions. Now, we did lose our last game with the Jets, ending our 4-5 win streak. So, hopefully, we can go ahead and have ourselves a better performance. It was a very good game. Just my opponent edged me out at the very last seconds of the game. So, hopefully, we can go ahead and have a different outcome this game to be able to continue our winning streak. So, a lot of you guys have been, I would love to know in the comment section, are you guys enjoying this series? You know, I think a lot of guys are leaving in the comment section that you guys are excited. You guys know what teams are coming up. You know, it's good to see, you know, every team played with. And I just want to know how you guys feel about the series in the comment section. So far, I've definitely been winning a lot more than losing, but I have been getting my fair share of losses. But, you know, I'm losing because I don't have somebody like that. I don't have Calvin Megatron Johnson taking it to the crib, going up 7-0. And, you know, I just wanted to get myself a good feel for each and every team's playbook. And, you know, at the end of the 32 teams, you know, I'm going to have a bunch of series coming on. So, you know, don't worry. From then on, I'm just going to go ahead and mix match teams, and, you know, we're going to be all good. So, you know, analyzing the matchup, you know, the Panthers like to throw to the users. I'm sorry, son, but don't test the user. He is so disrespectful. Somebody please give that gentleman a link to my channel and let him know, do not throw the ball my way. We end up just sniffing out the screen, and we get a nice pick six right there. I was saying we went for two because he went offsides on PAT, and we went for two and we ended up getting it. So we're up 15-0, and like I said, going up against the Panthers, they have a very good offense. You know, I'm definitely concerned about Cam Newton, where he's at all times. Make sure I try to send some pressure. Make sure I keep him inside the pocket. You know, look out for read options. Do what I got to do to stop him because he is a monster. Right there, he throws on the run across his body, but thankfully he ran into his own lineman, forcing him to go ahead and not get nothing out of that. So, offensively, you know, I have Reggie Bush, who's a very good speedster. I have Calvin Johnson, who's a beast. We have Burleson, who's got some speed. Lions have some good pistol formations. It sucks to know that, you know, they have read options for Matthew Stafford, but when I played with the Jets, they had one read option for Geno Smith, like just one. But, you know, freaking Matthew Stafford got like 7 read options. I don't know what's up with the playbooks, man, but nonetheless, Lions got a good playbook. You know, a lot of good passing plays. Of course, when you have Calvin Johnson, you expect to have a nice, good, balanced passing attack, which they do have. So you see, we're up 22-0, feeling good about it, trying to take out our frustrations from losing that Jets game, and hopefully we can go ahead and continue to pound it offensively. You know, every time we've had the ball, we've been able to score, and we've had a lock on Cam Newton so far. Really haven't allowed him to get too loose. Right there, he does go up top, and he does hit me with a beautiful pass right there. Thankfully, we shoestring him. I ran commit expecting a pass, and oh, look at the pick! Look at the pick. Like I said, I ran commit, and if he would have passed to anybody else, it would have been a touchdown, but he decided to pass over the middle right where I was, and we ended up getting a huge, oh, come on, Stafford, throw that on point. We ended up getting a huge pick right there. So right here, we decided to go to our right here. We ended up getting Broyles, and oh my God, eat some dirt, son! Getting Broyles in stride. So, you know, as you see, we're having tons of success offensively. You know, up 22 already after the first quarter. You know, moving the ball up and down the field, passing with no problem. And these are the type of games you gotta love. You know, when things are clicking and you feel like you really can't make no mistake. You know, when every time you let go of the ball, when you pass it, it just seems to be caught. Right here, we go with Calvin Johnson, but he ends up dropping the ball right there due to contact. So 3rd and 6 right here. We would like to get this first down to continue our offensive slaughterhouse, and we do look for Calvin. Now, when I play with the Lions, I do have a big problem of force feeding, you know, the monstrous wide receiver. You know, I do that with him, Andre Johnson, like Brandon Marshall. If I get a stud wide receiver, I tend to force feed him and do it very badly. But this game, I'm doing a very good job of course, I'm looking for him, but I'm doing a good job of being able to find other receivers. I think that's like his 4th reception. I've had a lot of Lions gameplay where you look, and I've thrown tons of interceptions just trying to throw to nothing but Calvin. So, you know, this game, I wanted to make sure that I stayed away from that. You know, pass when necessary. You know, when he's open, look for Calvin. You know, he's always going to be my first read, but don't force feed it to him, you know, and I think I'm doing a good job of that. You know, we're up 28-0. You know, we're causing mayhem on both sides of the ball. See, the Panthers can't even hold on to the ball. So, right here, he goes deep up top, and we end up swatting that down. And actually, we end up picking it off of the deflection, which was big, another interception. And as you can see, man, this game is just getting out of hand. You know, we have the opportunity to go up 35. We end up just going deep up top to Calvin, which he does end up catching a touchdown. Notice that he was having no over-the-top safety help, so we decided to hit him with a play action PA bootleg, and we end up going deep up top to Calvin. And, like I said, you can just look at the score and pretty much tell the game is just going to get out of hand, which it is. That's exactly what happened. So, being able to continue the winning, well, not continue because we lost last game, but being able to start a fresh new winning streak, hopefully we can be able to take that and continue it. So, next games from now on, I'm going to be dabbing a little bit of the Debo defense that iMaverick has put together, Debo 2.0. And, he went ahead and showed me a couple of plays. So I'm going to go ahead and, run Debo defense a little bit. Hopefully that gives me edge on defense. But as you guys know, I've always struggled on defense. You could show me any defense in the world. I could play with the Niners and you could show me the best defense and I would still struggle. Defense to me is a concept I've never really gotten. I've just always been able to win games by doing good on offense. Look at this. Look at his first touchdown, how we just, instead of tackling, we shove him completely out of the direction of the tacklers. But, like I said, I've been able to usually do good on offense. Every Madden, I've always found an offense to do good with. I've always been, 70% winner. I've always been able to do good in Madden, but it's always been offensive based. I've always struggled defensively, and I look for no exception this year. It's probably going to be, the same thing, but, it is good to have just a couple of blitzes under your belt to be able to send at any given time, to be able to cause that one or two mistakes, which should be able to help you win ball games. So, nonetheless, as you guys know, anything I figure out myself, I will always, give to you guys for free. So as soon as I'm done with the 32 teams and playbooks, as of now, I don't know if I find a better playbook, but as of now, I'm planning on doing something with Miami playbook, and once I do that, as soon as I go through every 32 teams, I think I'm gonna go ahead and throw a scheme together with Miami immediately. So once I go ahead and do that, as you guys know, I will go ahead and post my scheme, for free on, as a YouTube video. And as always, I've always done the donation route. So if anybody wanted to donate to the scheme, that's greatly appreciated. But again, it's not necessary. It's for everybody. I know a lot of my people don't have, PayPal or, don't have the ability to be able to pay for things, but still want to get better at the game. So, I'm not the best player in the world, but I do feel like, if you're okay-ish at the game, I can get you to good. I've never been really beyond good. I've always been an above average player. So, but I do get messages sometimes that, I'll show something that maybe a level 13 or 14 didn't know in a certain route or a certain formation. I'll do a different read, and they're like, I never even thought to even do it that way. So, even if it helps, just one person, it always feels good knowing that you can help somebody get better at the game of Madden, because Madden is a game where you want to get better at, and it's tough to get better at. It's a very tough, complex game, and anything that I've able to learn myself, I will always give to you guys. So, look out for that as soon as the series is done. I might even switch to a different playbook. I don't know. Eagles has a nasty playbook. I've heard Minnesota playbook is ferocious. I have not even looked into that yet because I haven't gone to them yet. But as of now, I think I'm going to be sticking with Miami. So, you guys definitely, like I said, look out for that. And yes, it will be free if anybody's asking, questions or something like that. But it's always been just, how to make your reads, how to look for man, how to look for zone, how to beat man, how to beat zone, and, things like that. Now, it's defensively, I just can't help you out. I just don't know what I'm doing on defense. That's just a proven fact. I don't know what it is I'm doing on defense. But nonetheless, on offense, if I can help you get better, it's an awesome feeling knowing that, somebody was able to get better from you. Like last year I did, I think 2 schemes. I think I did 3. I did 3 schemes last year, and I got a lot of good feedback. I did Jacksonville, I've did Eagles, and I've done Indy, and I've gotten a lot of feedback that has helped a lot of people, and that's an awesome feeling knowing that people are getting better because of the way you play the game. So that's a good feeling. So look out for that. So I'm sorry I couldn't talk too much about the gameplay. As you see, it was just rapage the entire start. He had no idea what to do to stop me offensively. Offensively himself, he had issues moving the ball. He wasn't really, I don't know what to say. He didn't have too much help his guys were dropping passes and, you know, things like that. But, you know, nonetheless, after this play, he ends up descending and concede, and we end up winning. And this is our first blowout of, you know, all the games have been close this year. This has been the first blowout this year, you know, on both sides. I haven't gotten blown out, and this is the first time I've actually gotten a blowout. So hope you guys enjoyed, man. As always, man, it's your boy GS beasting and feasting with the Detroit Lions, putting in work. You know, Calvin Johnson went loose, man went nuts. So as you see, we only got 6 skill points, so he probably wasn't too weird, anywhere near around my skill level. But nonetheless, man, hope he learns from this. You're gonna learn today. I'm out. Peace. Give it to me, baby.